Hello everyone, myself Namrata Mahale, student of B.Ed first year, KLE College of Ankola. Can you identify this picture? Yes, it is a forest. What do you see in this forest? Yes, we can find variety of plants and animals in this forest. What a man is doing in this picture? Yes, he is cutting the tree. What can you see in this picture? A man is hunting, right? So in these two pictures, we can see the destruction of forests and animals. In order to overcome these, what we have to do? Yes, we have to conserve the plants and animals. So today, we shall study the chapter of 8th standard, Conservation of Plants and Animals. So the first topic of this chapter is deforestation. A large variety of plants and animals live on Earth. A major threat for the survival of plants and animals is deforestation. What do you mean by deforestation? Deforestation means clearing of forests or cutting of trees in the forest. Now, what are the causes of deforestation? Deforestation are caused by human activities as well as natural causes. Humans cut trees for some of the purposes like procuring land for cultivation, building houses or factories, making furniture, or using wood as fuel. Now, what are the natural causes of deforestation? They are forest fires, floods, and even severe drought. So we learned what is deforestation and causes of deforestation. Now let us see the consequences of deforestation. Deforestation increases the temperature, resulting in global warming. Plants need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. When lot of trees are cut down, the carbon dioxide amount in the atmosphere increases. This increase in carbon dioxide leads to the global warming, and due to global warming, the polar ice caps they all melt, leading to flood. And due to increase in temperature, there will be less rainfall, and it leads to desertification. And the second consequence is deforestation increases the pollution level on Earth. When fuels are burned, they release a lot of gases like carbon dioxide. Plants and trees utilize this carbon dioxide and helps in reducing pollution. But if we cut trees, it will increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, thereby increasing the pollution level on the Earth. Next consequence is deforestation results in the decrease of rainfall. The roots of the trees absorbs the water from the earth, and this water goes back in the air through evaporation, and this water vapor causes rain. So if the trees are cut, less water vapor will be evaporated, resulting in the decrease of rainfall. The fourth consequence is groundwater also gets lower, resulting in droughts. There would be less rainfall due to deforestation, hence less water would percolate in the ground. Due to this, the groundwater gets lowered, and because of the shortage of surface water, droughts are caused. And the fifth consequence is the water holding capacity of the soil is also decreased, causing floods. Deforestation leads to a decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil. During heavy rain, usually the roots of the plant absorbs water on the soil, but when the trees are cut, the percolation of rainwater into the soil is reduced, and a lot of rainwater moves from the soil surface to the nearby rivers, causing flood. And sometimes the river is not able to carry all this rainwater, so the excess water overflows from the river and it causes flood by destroying houses, crops, building, etc. The sixth consequence is deforestation causes soil erosion and also decreases the fertility of soil, resulting in desertification. Deforestation changes the properties of the soil. This results in soil erosion. What do you mean by soil erosion? Soil erosion is the gradual movement of upper layer or the top layer of the soil. Deforestation leads to removal of top layer of the soil, which is most fertile. It exposes the lower, hard and rocky layers. This lower layer of the soil has less humus and is less fertile. Plants cannot grow in this type of soil, so gradually the fertile land gets converted into deserts. This process is called desertification. Desertification is the process of conversion of fertile land into desert. And the last consequence is deforestation disturbs the balance of nature. Deforestation results in the extinction of many plants and animals. Forests are the home of these living organisms. So when the forests are cleared, these natural habitats gets destroyed, and in the absence of habitat, they will not get enough food and they eventually become extinct. So we saw what is deforestation and what are the consequences of deforestation. So now we know how forest is important, so we have to conserve them. In order to protect the plants and animals and their habitat, the government has established certain areas called wildlife sanctuaries, national parks and biosphere reserves. The government lays down certain rules, methods and policies to protect and conserve them. Plantation, cultivation, grazing, cutting trees, hunting and poaching are prohibited in these areas. So let us discuss each of these protected areas in detail. So the first one is Biosphere Reserve. Biosphere reserves are the areas meant for the conservation of biodiversity. What do you mean by biodiversity? Variety of living organisms existing on earth is called as biodiversity. So biosphere reserves are the large areas meant for the conservation of wildlife, plants and animals living in that area. Pachmari Biosphere Reserve is an example of Biosphere Reserve. Biosphere Reserve may also contain other protective areas in it. The Pachmari Biosphere Reserve consists of one national park named Satpura and two wildlife sanctuaries named Bori and Pachmari. So now let's see what is wildlife sanctuary. Wildlife sanctuaries are the areas where the wild animals are protected in their natural habitat. Wildlife sanctuaries like reserve forests provide protection and suitable living conditions to wild animals. People living in wildlife sanctuaries are allowed to do certain activities such as grazing by their livestock, collecting medicinal plants, firewood, etc. Some of the threatened wild animals like black buck, elephant, python, rhinoceros are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries. For example, Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary, which is situated in Karnataka. So now let us see what are national parks. National parks are the areas where the floras, faunas, landscapes and historical objects of that area are protected and maintained. Example for the national park is the Satpura National Park. It is the first reserve forest of India. The finest Indian teak is found in this forest. The objects of historical importance called rock shelters are found inside the park. The rock shelters are the evidence of prehistoric human life. Human activities such as grazing, poaching, hunting, capturing of animals or collection of firewood, medicinal plants, etc. are not allowed in the national parks. Now let us see the term species. What do you mean by species? Species is a group of population which are capable of interbreeding. This means that the members of a species can reproduce fertile offspring only with the member of their own species and not with the member of other species. For example, a lion is able to breed only with a lion. It cannot breed with the deer. And the member of species, they have common characteristics. Species can be classified into two types, endemic species and endangered species. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area. They are not naturally found anywhere else. A particular type of animal or plant may be endemic to a zone or a state or a country. The sal and a wild mango are the endemic flora of the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve, and bison, Indian giant squirrel, flying squirrel are the endemic fauna of the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. What are endangered species? Species whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction are known as endangered species. That is, the species of plants and animals are exist but their numbers are decreasing. For example, tigers. Tigers are slowly disappearing from our forest. Tiger is one of the endangered species in India, but the Satpura Tiger Reserve was launched by the government to protect the tigers in the country. And in that tiger reserve, we can see the increase in the population of tigers, and we can also find wild buffaloes and barasingas there. And the next topic is flora and fauna. What do you mean by flora and fauna? The plants and animals found in a particular area are termed as flora and fauna of that area respectively. That is, the plants found in a particular area are termed as flora and animals found in a particular area are termed as fauna. Flora of the Pachmari Biosphere reserves are sal, teak, and mango. The fauna of the Pachmari Biosphere reserves are chinkara, blue bull, barking deer, cheetal, leopard, wild dog, wolf, etc. The next topic is Red Data Book. What do you mean by Red Data Book? Red Data Book is a source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. Red Data Book is maintained internationally by the International Union for the Conservation of Natural Resources, IUCN. So we shall move on to the next topic, that is migration. The seasonal movement of birds or animals from one place to another place is termed as migration, and the migration of birds and animals is due to sudden climatic change or for food or for breeding purpose. They migrate to optimize their living conditions by moving to areas which are warmer and have more food. Some animals migrate to breed. Birds who cover long distance to reach another land are known as migratory birds. They fly to faraway areas for laying eggs, as the weather in their natural habitat becomes very cold and inhospitable. Example, Siberian cranes. They are snowy white color birds that migrate during winter to India because in Siberia it becomes very cold and food becomes scarce. Therefore, they migrate to India in search of better living condition. So, we saw how the government have established certain areas like wildlife sanctuaries and national parks to conserve the forest as well as wildlife. So, how can we help in conserving the forest? One method is by recycling of paper. How is that possible? It takes 17 full-grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. Therefore, we should save paper. Paper can be recycled 5 to 7 times for use. So, if we recycle the paper, we can save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper, and the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making will also be reduced. Hence, we should save, reuse used paper and recycle it. So, the last topic of this chapter is reforestation. We already discussed what is deforestation and their consequences of deforestation. Now, the answer to deforestation is reforestation. What do you mean by reforestation? Reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. The planted trees should generally be of the same species which were found in that forest. We should plant at least as many trees as we cut. This is an example of reforested area. Reforestation can also happen naturally. If the deforested area is left undisturbed, it re-establishes itself. In short, we can say in natural reforestation, there is no role of human beings. This is how humans do reforestation. They plant trees, and after a few years, we can find that the forest has been replanted. We have already caused tremendous damage to our forest. So, in order to retain a green wealth for future generations, plantation of more trees is the only option. So, that's all of chapter Conservation of Plants and Animals. Thank you.